I've dramatically expanded our Neighborhood Prosecutor program. That's our project where I send key members of our team, prosecutors, to neighborhoods throughout Los Angeles. They're working closely with community leaders, business groups, neighborhood councils, homeowners organizations, parents, schools, all the key stakeholders in a neighborhood. My team is listening carefully to their most serious concerns and trying to find the most effective way to solve their problems, especially issues that implicate public safety. I was reminded about how essential that Neighborhood Prosecutor program is by an incident that just happened in the last few days. There's been a spate of recent robberies in the Melrose neighborhood between essentially Fairfax and La Brea. These have been disturbing events. They've been often violent events, targeting individuals who frequently have been leaving stores and walking down side streets. Neighbors are really concerned, whether they be tenants or homeowners, and businesses are concerned as well. And wouldn't we all be? Because they want what everyone in Los Angeles wants, and that's to live and work in a safe neighborhood. My neighborhood prosecutor told me about these issues, and so I went to the neighborhood to walk the streets with her and our senior lead officer. Our neighborhood prosecutor is named Marnoush Naderi. We call her Nushi. And the senior lead officer is Officer O'Brien. As we were walking, we were talking about our efforts together to bolster public safety by putting more officers on the street and expanding our community outreach. For example, Nushi is going to community meetings, listening carefully to the concerns of those who attend, but also sharing tips. Officer O'Brien was sharing that in recent days, members of the community who previously had had no contact with law enforcement are now finding ways to be partners in the effort to collaborate to keep the neighborhood safe. I want to talk a little bit about the tips that Nushi is sharing at these community meetings that I mentioned, because as Nushi and Officer O'Brien and I were walking down the street, it was clear to us that these tips can really make a difference. And I share them with you now because they're not exclusive to this neighborhood. These are the kinds of tips that we should all take into account in every neighborhood of the city and in every business district. First, we must be really attentive to our surroundings. How many of us walk down the street glued to our cell phone or with earbuds in our ears? When we are inattentive to our surroundings, we make ourselves all too easy targets. We can change that. Also, Nushi is describing how important it is that if you've made a recent purchase, especially an expensive one, don't conspicuously flaunt it as you're walking down the street. And consider leaving expensive jewelry and watches at home. Think about taking a walk with a friend so you're not completely by yourself. Now, even as Nushi's describing these tips, and Officer O'Brien and Nushi and I are talking, Nushi's describing other outreach that she's going to engage in, working with the school, Fairfax High School, working with the business improvement district in the neighborhood. She's even assessing the quality of lighting as we're walking down the street to make sure that every condition is a condition designed to keep the neighborhood safe. And one more thing. Nushi and Officer O'Brien were sharing with me how they intend to re-emphasize the importance of quality of life crimes. The kinds of issues in a neighborhood that, if left unabated, send the message that crime of a larger magnitude won't be treated seriously. I'm confident that these efforts will make progress. We still have work to do. There have still been incidents in that neighborhood. But working as the team I mentioned earlier, the community, LAPD, and our office, we're going to make a difference. I'm Mike Feuer, the Los Angeles City Attorney. Thanks for watching.